Have we seen the last of Ken Roczen? Quite possibly. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these very crazy moto times. All right, folks, welcome to the channel. It's always an honor and a privilege to be with you. I hope you're all doing great. Buckle up and strap in. Hold on to your hats and glasses. We got a barn burner to unpackage today. Our boy, Kenny Roczen. Love this guy. This dude has been through the ringer. Let's just not sugarcoat this one. Our boy, Kenny Roczen, has been through the ringer. He almost lost his arm in that yard sale of a crash in Anaheim. I mean, my gosh, that was so scary for him to come back at all. And here's the thing, it's so crazy to me these days. This is a dangerous sport. Kenny crashed all by himself. And we just saw some footage of old Kenny boy. A lot of these crashes are you crashing all by yourself. You know how it is if you've ever ridden the moto. And listen, let me just tell you, that's what we're going to talk about today too. Why I believe Kenny boy, he's got to call it a career. He had a goal to come back and probably win another championship. Honda put out a massive amount of money to have that happen, and it didn't happen. He run some races though. I think that he came back from just to win a race, and we saw that first race. He won it in Supercross, how emotional it was. But listen, if you're a racer, especially if you've had a championship before, that you're not happy unless you win another championship. And we've seen a bunch of ex-champs not be able to go out on top. Very few. The Dunge did it, and he couldn't help himself. He had to come double dip and come back, and it didn't pan out for him. Listen, friends, it's just the nature of the sport. Dangerous sport. And this is the thing. Our boy Kenny, he has kids now. He's a family man. He almost lost his arm. He almost lost his life. We've almost lost our life if we've ever raced or even rode out of the garage on a motorcycle. That's just the nature of this sport. Our parents a lot of our parents, or at least our friends' parents that didn't support motorcycles, well, that's dangerous. You can get, well, yeah. I mean, you can get killed crossing the street too. So the reality is, our friends, this is a very dangerous sport. And Kenny came back and he gave it his best. This is probably one of the most goal-driven guys, if I had to guess, that you'll ever meet, is Kenny boy Roczen. And the reality is, our friends, is that, this is it for him. It's done. It's over. Honda's all in on Jet Lawrence now. Jet Lawrence, and I don't even know. Honda seems to be a little bit cursed at this point. Great bike. I grew up on Hondas. My dad owned their local Honda dealership as a kid. That's what I came up riding. Worked for Triple X. We were Hondas. At the height of our success, we were on Hondas. Love Hondas. You can't buy a bad bike these days. They are so pretty, except that Suzuki out there. My gosh, those people, they might go bankrupt. This next recession is probably going to bankrupt Suzuki. And we're going to see a lot of these high-flying riders commanding big contracts. They're not going to get those contracts. Back in the last recession, the 08 era, that's when I came back to the sport with MotoStar. Oh my gosh, it was an ugly look. I was able to sponsor riders for t-shirts. I mean, that's how crazy it was. You were getting product-only sponsorships, no money. And they were asking for them. I can't give it to you. I got product-only sponsorship for you, man. That's what I got. I mean, I might be able to hook you up with some kind of incentive program and commission you for sales of merch. That's what we're headed for again. So I believe Kenny boy is on his way out. We're going to see him, I believe, race World Supercross, maybe one more season this year of American Supercross. But I wouldn't be surprised just to hear him announce. And just because you have some people are, yeah, but he's tied into a contract or whatever, riders tied into. Riders bail on contracts constantly. You're going to see a lot of craziness unfold this year. This is one of the craziest silly seasons I think we'll ever see. That's one of the reasons I created this channel as an ex-industry guy who wanted to cut through the chatter and not sugarcoat it like I see a lot of other channels out there that are connected to the industry and have to tiptoe around certain topics. Hats off. I've given this guy a shout out before. I like him because he's kind of corny, and he does a little bit of production value, some editing stuff, like Johnny Hopper. I know he's an ex-racer, never, he's just a privateer, but he's running his mouth in a pretty cool way. So I like to give, and he's commented on this channel. So thanks, Hopper. And there's other guys out there. I like Cooksey and Gypsy and Pulp. I mean, Vital, you name it. I love all the other industry channels. I really do. I just understand how handcuffed a lot of them are by the industry. So a lot of now we're pulling no punches more than we did in the past, and we'll continue to see that. But this is going to be insane. And final thoughts, what I really wanted to say to you guys today, and I really want your feedback, because at the end of the day, I mean, if it's not for you guys, we're not even here running our mouth anyway. Kenny Roczen had a great career, but it's over. Injuries are a big part of this sport, and there's been a lot of people like Ernesto and Doug Henry that have had Bailey career-ending injuries. It's just the way it is. If I was Roczen, I would just call it. You've done a fabulous job. We will always remember you in this sport. I don't know how many records you broke, but the fact that you came back from that arm injury, for me personally, was absolutely insane. Like, I've never seen anything quite like that, and I'll always remember that one, because I know how hard this sport can be on people. I've watched this thing unfold many, many times. I've seen a lot of people get hurt. The only other person I remember yard sailing it a bunch and big is our friend Bubba Stewart, who has a channel as well I like. Bubba was yard sailing it in the lights class, and the 450 class. He was yard sailing it constantly. So I believe this is it. It's going to be a goodbye, farewell tour for our boy Kenny. It'll probably be announced at some point. You'll have to stay tuned. We'll continue to cover everything that we feel like has a story behind it, because at the end of the day, this is Moto, and we want to stay on top and in front of everything that's going on in the industry. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, there should be another video coming into your screen at any given moment, if it's not already there, with an easy subscribe icon I hope you use. As always, thank you for your time. Hope you win on and off the track. I will see you on the next video.
Bars there.